What's up, guys? I figured I'd make a quick video showing you guys how I made my jungle remix. But yeah, anyways, let's start with how I came up with the idea. So first I heard like the jungle remix and or sorry, the jungle original. I really liked the original melody with the vocals and everything, but I thought the drop was pretty underwhelming. So I wanted to kind of make it like a future house, future bounce type of remix. So anyways, the first thing I did was um I took uh I made a MIDI out of the lead melody or out of the lead vocal melody and then I turned it into like a lead bus which sounds like this. And one big thing was it for it was I'd use these pitch bends to kind of make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, anyways, so that's what the lead bus sounds like, and it's comprised of Nexus, Silent, um, Silent, Avenger, uh, Spire, Vital, Nexus, Serum. That's pretty much it, but just a bunch of like random presets. Like I just downloaded a bunch of like Future House, Future Bounce kind of preset packs, and I kind of went off there and I used that. Um, but yeah, and then each lead has its like not very much processing. Like maybe there's like an overdrive and EQ. That's about it. So from there, I routed it all to one mixer channel, and I added saturation. Um, sorry, all the lead synths to one mixer channel. I had saturation. I had sidechain. Um, just some ozone imager to make it a little water. I had these two other EQs, a compressor, and then a kickstart. I'll show you. I automate this one, and I'll show you guys that in a minute. And then two EQs. This is super simple. Just if I want to create like an automation of filtering the leads in and out, it's super simple to do. And yeah, and then another big thing is I routed this also to a reverb bus. So I have this reverb on it. Um, and the most important thing about this is I have this noise gate, which is if you guys use FL, this is similar to like the 3DP controller, but essentially like when the signal hits, it ducks. So in this case, when the lead melody plays, the reverb ducks and then comes back when the lead melody isn't playing. I can kind of show you guys this, but here's the reverb just by itself without the lead. And you can kind of hear that it comes back as um the reverb kind of comes back as the lead stops playing. But anyways, so there's that, and then I also have like this drop stab. So on every chord change, you can kind of hear it, but sounds like this. And then just changes the pitch. But yeah, it's just nothing special, but just adds a little more punch to the lead. And then I guess next to chords. So I had a question asking me how I made my chords so big, and I honestly don't know, but here's what they sound like, and here's the MIDI. Yeah, honestly, nothing special. That's the MIDI. It's just a couple layers, but more than a couple, but it's just like random presets that I've just found. Serum presets. I actually made this one myself, and I'm pretty happy about it because I'm sound design god clearly. But this is also a super cool one. It's just literally from Splice. Yeah, like I said, like it just collects so many presets over time, and yeah, and then for the second part of the drop, I added um these two pianos and organs just to kind of make it a little more interesting for the second part of the drop, but they sound like this. Yeah, and I thought that was super cool. But anyways, so for the processing, I have a saturation, pretty much the same preset that I used on my lead bus, and then I also have this kickstart, um, EQ, made them a little water, another kickstart, and then just F a single EQ, just kind of filter them in and out. But and then onto the bass. Um, so this is the sub. It sounds like this. And it's just a BS Buka. I know Mike Williams uses this exact preset, and this is why I use it. So it sounds like this is a preset. I just tweaked it a little bit, but I know like Kygo uses this preset for a lead too, so it's very versatile. But yeah, I just tweaked it, and then this plugin's super clutch because it's kind of like Airbase, but it's free. So I think I saw Justin Milo use it, but it's super cool and it kind of just boosts the low end even more. Knocked into mono, of course. I nothing with the ZQ, and then another kickstart, which I'll show you guys in a minute. But and then yeah, so the sub sounds like that. The mid bass, I feel like this is very important because it adds like the grit to the low end, but also, if you hear it on your phone speakers, you're not really gonna hear that sub bass. So this also is huge. So it sounds like this. And yeah, so I made sure it's just a bunch of like serum, silent, this is Spire, yeah, Spire, serum. I think I had this Nexus preset in there as well. Let's see, yeah, I have this Nexus preset too. And yeah, honestly, nothing special about it. But yeah, I also included the bark on throttle on some of my mid basses because the mid bass is still there to serve, some of the low ends too. So you have to make sure that like obviously you still get some of the low ends out of your mid bass too. And I kind of made sure by using this, boosting the low ends on some of the mid bass plugins. But anyways, and then what I was talking about, referring to, so there's this part here after the first part of the drop, that kind of filters out. So it's kind of a regular kick pattern. And what I did is here I just automated another sidechain that's sidechain to that irregular kick pattern. And the mix is 100% on, and then I turn the mix of the original one all the way down. You can kind of see the automation here. So I turn the mix of the original one all the way down, and then the mix of the other one all the way up. And I did that for all the synths really, just to make sure the kick really punches through. And then I have these drop effects. I think these make the track. I think it keeps it from being, stale and repetitive, and they sound like this, and they're my absolute favorite things that part of the track, by the way. But and I don't know. So I included some like honestly like I just like grind and splice and just try to find some presets, but I have like some bass shots for Virtual Riot, like which are like these heavy dubstep kind of basses. I have this like signature like Mike Williams sound here. If you hear any Mike Williams tracks, I'm sure you've heard that before. And then I also have my favorite part, this organ here, which is super cool. Let's see if it plays. And just adds, I don't know, just so much to the drop just to make it um yeah, feel like less stale and just um add some more variety. And then okay, next the drums, all of the drums, including some effects, sound like this. then for the second part. Nothing special, but just gets the job done. So I had this like low kick, and then I also layered it with this top kick here. And then I have these claps. And then I have these like percussions to kind of like that's this percussion right just add a little bit more groove. You can kind of see what I mean. It makes no sense, but makes no sense now, but it kind of makes sense in the track. I'll play with the lead, but um this kind of makes sense. And I also have like these sweeps, which are just nothing special. And I just have I put rid them all to one bus and I have the kickstart on there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the drop. Nothing special. Um, hmm, yeah, it's honestly it. And then for vocal processing, you guys probably don't care about this, but quickly, I just YouTube the MP3 of the vocal. I have the CQ compressor. I just use this preset. I don't know where I find this effect chain preset, but I don't know how it works. And then I also routed it to um a vocal delay and a vocal reverb. So I did the same thing that I did with the lead reverb, so it just ducks whenever time every time she's singing. So you kind of hear it ducks, and then it gets bigger when she's not singing, which kind of just fills up the vocal a little more. But yeah, it's just like a standard delay, and then I use that same gate thing that I was talking about before. And then same with the reverb. Yeah, just a gate and then a gain just to automate just if I want to cut it out, which I do when the drop's playing. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the drop. So for the like the chorus, I thought this was also super cool. I have this piano. Um, I just want to keep like the vibe of the original track kind of with the piano, but like not like overuse it to the point where um it's like not like it's a whole drop. But yeah, so I kept it in the chorus and I also used it in the intro here. But yeah, like I said, like it's literally just the vocal melody and it plays on top of the vocal like this. And then what else do I have? I feel like these pads, and they're honestly like nothing special, but I have this Kickstarter on there, which is pretty exaggerating, and it gives it like this pumping effect that I heard in the original track and I thought was so cool. So like for example, like this pad, like without the Kickstarter, it sounds like this, but which is nothing special. And then when I add the Kickstart, it gives it like this pumping effect, which is super cool. And this kind of shows that like you don't need to use Kickstart just for um Kickstart volume shaper like an LFO tool, like a sidechain tool. Just for like just to use it just for sidechain. Like you can also make some pretty cool effects with it, in my opinion at least. And yeah, so I did that with a couple of the pads, and then I also have like yeah, I have a bunch of pads honestly. Like it's bad, but this one. Let's see what else I have here. I have this one. Like I don't know. Like yeah, it's bad, but like it works. So um anyways, it sounds like this. Like this pad, I had to bounce or sorry, this pad, super cool pad. I just had to bounce it because I don't have the Spire full version. So yeah, it's just this pad digital drift, but super cool. It has like this little artifact, noise artifact on top, which is super cool, like this sparkling. And then for the build-up drums, honestly, like nothing special, but I think it just grinds voice for these two. Um, Sounds like this. That is pretty much it. Yeah, I just got pretty much all these on Splice and kind of made them work in the mix. Like some of these, like I have this kick here, and pitch it up. And I'll show you guys another cool trick that I did in a minute. And then what else do I have here? I have okay, the verses. I have like these atmosphere things that I've just what do we got in Splice? They sound like this. So they play for the verses. Um, and then I have like this hi-hat or like this clap hat pattern here that comes in the second part, along with the horn that I use from the drop, but I just filtered it. So it sounds like this. And then you can kind of hear it, but I had some sort of delay on one of the hats. I don't know, just to make it sound a little cooler. I don't know. But it worked. Um, and it sounds like this. These two clap layers, but like these are all samples from Splice. Like yeah, as you can tell, I'm a huge Splice advocate here, but so I routed like all those vocals to or sorry, all the vocals, all those drums to a bus, and I just kind of filtered them down here. But yeah. And that is pretty much it for the entire track. I also have like this free space, which is kind of cool, that plays at different parts throughout the track. Like it plays um which is a super cool preset. Got on Splice too, but that's pretty much it for the entire track. I can't really think of anything else to show you guys. Hmm. Yeah, honestly. But yeah, I'm so glad that you all like the track, and thanks so much for taking the time to watch this video and just see how I made the track. But I did get some questions on Instagram, so I guess I gotta turn my camera off, but I guess let's see what you guys were asking about. All right. So first question is, how did I get my remix to sound so good? Because I tried remixing and it sounds so distorted. Um, I don't know. Usually when it's distorted, music's too loud and it's clipping. So maybe make sure nothing's too loud, and just be be creative with your remix. Try new things, and um, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Just keep on grinding though. I'm sure you got it. Another question asks, do you have a girlfriend or will you be mine? I do not, but no. Um. Another question asks, how are you gonna handle being so well known in the industry? Um, that's a later problem if I get to that point, but that would be super cool. And I don't know. I just gotta grind to get to that point, but hopefully soon. And then another question asks, how are you making like chords so how are you making the chords so massive? What reverb do you use? I think the biggest part, like I showed you the chord processing, I can uh but it's nothing special. I think the saturation here, like this Like this does so much for it. But other than that, like I don't really have anything like distortion or anything to make it bigger. And then like individually, like I don't have any processing. It's only on each of the tracks, but um it's just like, the serum preset and that's all. But one thing that I thought really helped was adding the piano and the organ in the second half. That really fills it up too. But mainly it's the lead that's the biggest part. And I mean, I was dealing with the same thing with you, my mixes just sound so thin. And it was like, how can I actually make them sound professional? How can I make these sound big? So mainly it's just like layering. Make sure you have like proper layers. Except though, I'm not the best example of this, but yeah, making sure that you're filling up this frequency spectrum to make it sound big. And like there's ways to do that. Obviously, like adding different layers, but also, adding saturation, adding EQing properly, and adding distortion, adding overdrive. Like I added overdrive to, let's see, like overdrive to like this preset, for example. And yeah, it kind of helps, fill up this frequency spectrum. And that's like the whole objective to that's what you want to do to make a bigger sound. You want to fill up that speaker frequency spectrum, and different presets do that, but you can also have different like effects, like I said, like saturation, overdrive, distortion to do so. And then someone's asking about the mixing and mastering. Honestly, for mixing, I know this is gonna sound really bad, but I mixed it on my AirPods, because I was just at school. But I just kind of made sure I EQ'd every track to some extent, um. like I guess this is a bad example, but like every lead layer in the drops EQ'd, or most that was EQ'd, but no. Okay, this is really bad. But I had some EQs and um I'm not the best mixer. And then for mastering, honestly, like I'm not the one to ask. I really just watched like a YouTube video on this, but I have a compressor, uh this preset here. I have this multi-point compressor that kind of, um is really just the lows here. And then I have this other one. But like these are just presets that I found, like mastering presets. I was just going through them, what sounds the best. And so yeah, and then this is the other thing I want to show you. Thank you for this comment because I wouldn't have shown you this, guy. So showing you this trick. So I have a single EQ, um, a reverb, and a ozone imager, and you're probably gonna be like, well, what are you doing with these on the master? But anyways, so right before the drop hits, I also automate the volume, but I automate these different things. So I had some reverb right before the drop. I duck the volume here a little bit, but I also, um, yeah, cut at the lows just a little bit. And then, that's pretty much it. But yeah, oops, I think I messed something up. But anyways, it's not noticeable. Um, But yeah, so I automate these things. I know it's kind of mastering, but yeah, so I automate these things, kind of like make the drop hit even harder. And then lastly, I add this general or loud general purpose limiting preset that I just got from FabFilter Pro L2. And it just kind of makes sure it's not clipping at all or anything, but kind of squashed my mix a little bit too much. But anyway. It is what it is. But yeah, that's my mastering change. It's really bad. But I've tried ozone. I've tried different things, but kind of preferred, to kind of have that flexibility of doing it by myself and kind of adjusting things the way that I like. And then like also another cool trick is, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I have like the Mike Williams Wait Another Day right here. And so what I would do is, I would reference the my my cue of my drop with the Michael Williams ones, and I could say, hey, well, um, I can say, well, I'm missing, I have too much low end here, but I'm missing, some of these frequencies here, and especially lots of the high end here. So how am I able to adjust? And that's kind of a big thing. And kind of to the point of mixing too. Well, you can reference say, well, how loud is this lead in the mix, and how loud should I make my lead relative in my mix relative to um how Mike Williams mixed his track, and you can kind of do the same for different elements there too. Although I didn't do too much about that. Someone says, "Let's go." Someone says, "Why are you so good?" I'm not. I wish I was, but um, someone says collab. Send me demos. I'm always open to trying different things, but yeah, the send me demos. Just DM me. But yeah. And someone else says, I need vocals in the song. How much should I pay the singer? You were asking the wrong person here. Yeah, you're asking the wrong person. Someone says, when are we getting collab? I don't know. Maybe ask Jaden Andrews for that one. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and really appreciate every single stream of my new track, and looking forward to sharing more music with you guys. If you guys have any other questions or comments, please leave it down below. And happy to answer any single one of them. Or if you have any other questions about any of my other tracks, I was going to try to make a couple other videos for some other tracks, but yeah, feel free to leave them below, and I'll try to answer every single one. Thanks, guys.